Welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about my favourite games of all time. I have spoken about this in a previous video, and I was talking about the old PS1 games and the games I used to play back in the day. So I'm going to talk about some of the old games I used to play, and also some new ones on like PS4 and possibly some Switch games too, because I do play on the Switch as well, which I will try to show you my Switch in a video sometime, because I recently got it for Christmas, and Jeff actually bid on a Switch on eBay, and I actually got a Switch for Christmas, which was really cool. So my first top favourite game of all time has to be an old game that I used to play on the Game Boy, and I used to have a Game Boy Advance Colour, which I used to play Rayman on, and there's numerous games of Rayman on console now, but I used to play this on my Game Boy because you could get it on Game Boy Advance Colour. I used to be addicted to it, and I used to play it all the time, and I'd sit there on the couch playing it for hours on end, and I'd be doing it level by level by level. I couldn't play it at first because it was a bit difficult, but I got used to it. So that's one of my favourite games. My second favourite game has to be an old PS1 game, which is called 40 Minx, which is a game in which you have two characters. One is like a little girl and one's a little boy, and it's all to do with dream. It kind of sort of reminds me of Jeff's REM state a little bit, because it's to do with dreams, being in a dream world and not being in a real world. And you have a little girl and a little boy, and there's these evil villains in it. There's enemies you have to defeat, and you have to save the winks that are in these cages. But you have to find keys and stuff to open the cages so you can get them out, and once you've done that, then they're saved. And there's this old man in it who looks like a bit like Scrooge, who I think is the leader of these other sort of like villain winks. I don't know what they're called now. And it's a really cool game, and I used to play it with my sisters on PS1 all the time, because I had a PS1 when I was growing up. Unfortunately, it gathered dust and I had to sell it. But that was one of the games. Another game I used to play on PS1 was the Spider-Man PS1 game, which is really cool because Spider-Man would swing like in the movies, but there was a certain bit it used to glitch out and it used to cut out, and you couldn't play the game after that because I think it was a dodgy disc. And I got up to this bit on the game where you have to save Mary Jane and you have to kill Venom, and also Black Cat was in this as well. So it's not the new Spider-Man. It's the old as well. So that's one of mine. One of my other favourite games, which is on PS4 now, and that's Resident Evil Remake, because it's one of my top favourite Resident Evil games. I used to play it on DS before PS4, as I mentioned in my ramble, Resident Evil ramble. I played it on DS first, and then I got playing it on PS4, and I have a PS4 at home because I won a competition and I got given a PS4 from Jeff. So that's why, because I entered a rap competition and I actually won, and I got a PS4. So that was one of the games that I liked which was Remake, because I only ever played the DS one, and it's slightly different than the DS one, because the DS one's kind of like the 60s one, and the newest one was the one that Shinji Mikami remastered, which has the pre-rendered backgrounds, which you don't have now in the new Resident Evils because they have this new thing called the RE engine, which is a bit different. So that's one of my other favourite games. Another one of my favourite games is Until Dawn, which is a multiple choice game, which you can choose the character's fate, and you can choose if they die or they survive, and you have to pick the ones to survive and pick the ones that you want to kill. And I think when I first played it, I killed everyone and I only saved one. I do need to play it again and decide whether who to, it's a bit difficult, but I think I killed everyone off and then just saved one person. It's a really creepy game as well because you have these villains in it called the Wendigos that you have to defeat in it. So it's one of my favourite games. Another one of my favourite games is Resident Evil 7 because I remember when I first played this, I played this on Jeff's SharePlay on the PS4 because at the time I didn't have the game. I actually have the gold edition at home somewhere, which has all the exclusives on it, like the exclusive stuff on it, like the DLCs, and it's also got Not a Hero, which you have to download separately, which I've played on my channel. I've done Let's Plays of Not a Hero on my channel, if you wanted to check them out. I like Not a Hero, but I think I recently played it ages ago now and I couldn't remember what you had to do at a certain part. It's a hard game, even on easy mode, because you're Chris from the Resident Evil games. But he's working for, I think, Umbrella in this scenario. Not like in the other Resident Evil games where it's stars. But yeah, I like Resident Evil 7 because I played it on SharePlay with Jeff, and it was actually a pretty cool game. There's a lot of stuff you can do in it. You can get a knife and a chainsaw and everything in it, and it's instead of zombies, you've got these like gloopy monsters that are made of cube. And obviously, I like the characters in Resident Evil 7, like Ethan and Mia and Zoe, and you have the Thingy family. I can't remember their names now because I'm going blank. You have the family in it that turn all evil. Because there's a DLC in Resident Evil 7 which is called Daughters, and you're Zoe, and it's actually the first. You actually get this little girl who's called Evelyn that stays with you, and she ends up turning all of your family into like monsters and people and evil people, and that's how I think that's how it all settled, like all became a thing. Like, and you've also got Resident Evil 8 now, and that's a new game. I only first started playing that. I haven't finished that yet. I did start playing it. I know Jeff on his channel has been doing Let's Plays of it. So yeah, that's one of my favourite games on PS4. Now I'm going on to Switch games now. One of my favourite Switch games I like to play all the time is Animal Crossing. And this Animal Crossing on the Switch is a bit different than the New World and the Nintendo DS one, which was like Nintendo 3DS, which was New Leaf. I never played that one, but I played Wild World on the DS. And I did like that one, but this is different. This is called Animal Crossing New Horizons. This is on Switch, and it's actually it's got pretty nice, villages and all that stuff from like the old Animal Crossing games. I like to play it, and you've got your own town and you can build stuff, and you can actually like create stuff in your town, like anything you want. You get really cute villages on the game. I'm going to try and do a Let's Play of my Animal Crossing game on my Switch at some point so I can show you it. And also I have Assassin's Creed on my Switch game, which is one of my favourite games to play. Unfortunately, my Switch controller, like the little knob thing on it, well, not the knob, but the little, nunchuck thing, it's a bit broken, and that I have to keep putting my thumb up, but it used to work when I didn't break it. And I used to play Assassin's Creed, like Rogue, and there's another one that I've got, which is I had to get with a cord. And they're one of my favourite games I like to play. I sometimes play it depending. And I do like the first Assassin's Creed because my sister used to play it on the Xbox. And I used to like the first one because I used to like all the beggars that'd hit you, and I think you can get it on PS3 as well as Xbox, and I had an Xbox at home as well. And other games I like puzzle games. Recently bought a puzzle game on the Switch, puzzle game, and it was only cheap at the time. And I don't know what it's called now because I don't have my Switch, but it's a really good puzzle game, and it's like a point and click game. I do like point and click games as well, like Ig Matters, because Jeff used to play them, and like there's another one called True Lies, I think, or something, and that one's like a puzzle game, but I like puzzle point and click games. They're really fun to play. And I've got one on the Switch where you have to open up boxes and you have to figure out what you have to do. Because there was also a puzzle game I used to play on the PC, which I've done a Let's Play of on my Kindle, because you can get it in the App Store. It's called Panic Room, and it's a puzzle game where you have to find objects, and it's kind of like a story. You kind of have a story with it as well, and you have this evil guy who's like called the Puppet Master or something, and it made me think of the book, The Puppet Master. I have a book that I used to read back in the day, which was called The Puppet Master, which was to do with an evil puppet master who had marionettes, and there was this girl in it, and I recently bought another copy of it because my actual copy I had at home, I think it ripped and I had to throw it away. Yeah, that's pretty much all of my favourite games, guys, that I like to play, so I hope you enjoyed. I'm also going to I wanted to talk about my phone, because my phone yesterday, I was trying to download Google Chrome on it, and I couldn't update it, and I was thinking, oh, maybe it's Google, but it's not, it's my phone. I had trouble with it yesterday, and I was really getting annoyed because this phone that I have here, it is a piece of rubbish, and it glitches out, and I've had it for years now, actually, and it's been fine, but because of all the bug fixes it has to do on it and all the updates, it's actually kind of, made it kind of mess up. But it weren't updating Google Chrome yesterday, and I got really annoyed about it. But I looked at it just a minute ago, and I think Google Chrome has updated now, so I don't need to rant about it. I think it's the end of my rant, really. But I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. As always, please like and hit the subscribe button so that you're updated about. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notification bell so you're updated about any future videos. And have a nice Wednesday today, guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.